Hey, before we get going in this wacky world and a monster show of ours, I told you about the Sack Up gear. Go to shop.outkick.com. But don't forget, we're getting close to 2 million subscribers, and I want you to be one of them on our OutKick YouTube page. Get over there. It's a daily reminder. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our OutKick YouTube channel so you do not miss any of the action from Tommy, from Riley, from Hot Mike, from Ricky Cobb, from me, from Clay, the fellas, you know. Don't forget Tyrese. Go to the OutKick YouTube channel now. Oh, man, this is awesome. Right over here. Whoop. Right over here, LeBron James played the Pacers yesterday, and he took an hour out of his day to come see Pat Mack in the Thunderdome, and the Thunderdome was rock and rolling, shaking and baking. In fact, I went over to the golf course over there after my show around 3:30, and people were all over the place because McAfee's show is at the corner of the 5th hole here. People were just around. There's usually nobody around. They were around. They wanted to see the great LeBron James. LeBron James joined McAfee for the LeBron-versation. I see what Pat Mack did and the NBA superstar. Well, he used the ESPN airwaves to address a feud with Stephen A. Smith and eviscerated him on his own network. Now, I'm going to get into this. Let's hear from LeBron James.
Yep. Which leads, obviously, to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're watching it. Yep. We're all seeing it.
Oh, yeah.
You're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, on fire. You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, and like another, he completely missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about it again. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair in his tighty whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance. Yeah, but you're right.
Dude, relax, bro. Relax. Seriously.
That is so funny because that is so true. I mean, there's nothing a guy like Stephen A. Smith wants more than somebody like LeBron James or anybody to talk about him. And this gets even better. No, this gets a lot better. Before I get to the response by Stephen A. Smith, I got to tell you, when I see the response of Stephen A. Smith, and it's coming here in a minute, you're going to be like, I knew that guy in high school, grade school, college. I knew that guy in the office on the softball team. I knew that guy in the basketball court. You'll see in a minute. But here's LeBron talking. Here is LeBron talking about the media getting too comfortable talking about players.
There was too many years went by when players did not have an opportunity to just speak and their voices to be heard, or allow the narrative to get so much outside of sports. Like, if I miss a game winner, or if I don't show up in the finals, like I was supposed to versus Dallas in year 1 in Miami, you can say whatever the fuck you want. I should have been a lot better, I know. But don't take it to, my household or take it to what's going on and other guys. Like, I seen something with Embiid where a reporter came into the locker room and started speaking about, I think his brother or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, how weird is that? Like, that's so weird. Like, why are we taking it to that point? Mm-hmm. And we're taking it to that point because people have gotten too comfortable. I think people in the media have gotten too comfortable, especially with our sport. They got too comfortable where, back in the day, for sure, you would never bring up Charles Oakley's brother. Charles Oakley will smack you through his brother.
Vernon Maxwell.
All right? Yeah. Mad Max, like his name was Mad Max for a reason. It wasn't because he picked you up 94 feet. It was because if you said something about Mad Max, like he's gonna separate your jaw.
I had 23 and 11 against Mad Max in college. True story. Anyway, he's talking about Vernon Maxwell there, and he's right, but he's wrong. Look, the media is not the same media as it was in the 90s. We see that all the time. Danny Hurley just experienced that. He did. He just experienced that walking off the court in a highly emotional moment. He's pissed. And some little douchebag reporter gets him on video, can't wait to put it out, and some guy's protecting him, his SID, and next thing you know, oh, my God, the SID threatened me. Oh, shut up, all of you. People need threat. We need more threatening. We need more LeBron James knocking to live in hell out of people like Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, though, he had to do what he did, right? Stephen A. Smith, let's just say it, got embarrassed. He did. He looked like a little douchebag, which he is. He looked like a little wimp, which he is. The big bad LeBron James stood up to him. Stephen A. Smith sat down meekly. And then, of course, when the video came out, Stephen A. Smith did what, I don't know if you remember this, Frank Kaminsky, I think it was in the finals. Jimmy Butler was terrorizing Kaminsky's Phoenix Suns team, and he came over to the sideline, and Frank Kaminsky famously backed out of it. And then he went on an audio and video tour, Taylor Swift type tour, Kaminsky did. And he went, well, you know, Butler's my same agent and blah, 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 blah. We all know the guy. We all know. Maybe you were the guy. I was the guy one time. I was the guy. Darryl Collins hit me right in the face. I was in 8th grade. Still remember it to this day. Didn't punch him back. Bell rang. We had to go in. And I wimped out. And I made a vow to myself that was never going to happen again, no matter what it cost me, no matter if I get kicked out of a game, no matter if I get arrested. I'm never going to have that feeling again. So I understand it. I do. But you can't go overboard. And once or twice I have. Well, what are you going to do? I didn't have that feeling. Never going back to that. I almost killed myself back as an 8th grader. Did. Long story short, though, Stephen A. Smith has that feeling. And Stephen A. Smith, well, he's got a little different platform than me as an 8th grader, right? So the truth of the matter is this. Stephen A. Smith had this to say. Nice try, folks. On my show, I said I would have swung on James had he slapped me. Like lots of y'all said I was scared, he would have done it a few weeks ago. I also said immediately after that I would have got my ass thoroughly kicked by the 6'8", 250 Goliath. But folks, just left that part of my YouTube sentence out, huh? Okay, have fun. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, nobody's doubting you'd have had your ass kicked. We've seen you try to shoot a basketball. We've seen you try to box. You're the most unathletic, big-mouth douchebag that there is. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the funniest thing that I ever saw in an NBA court, Eastern Conference Finals in Indianapolis, LeBron James, I think it was LeBron James. I don't think it was the Knicks. I think it was LeBron James's Heat team in the house, and I'm sitting there in the front row with a friend of mine. I had the good seats. ESPN put me on TV eating a rum-soaked ice cream cone or ice cone or whatever the hell you call those, snow cones. Well, before the game, Stephen A. Smith is walking around doing that Stephen A. Smith walk that he does. And he wasn't quite to where the level he is now. It was one of the funniest things I ever saw. It kind of catch my eye. And here he's walking around, and he's doing this. Like he's evaluating. And, I mean, James and Bosh and Wade were laughing their ass off at him. I mean, the guys on the Pacers were like, look at this dumbass. Look at this guy trying to be something. It's all part of a shtick. We all understand that. Apparently, even producers at ESPN in leaked video understand that. But let's just be honest. The idea of him throwing hands, he had the chance. And now he feels like I did as an 8th grader. It's too bad somebody didn't smack him when he was in 8th grade and he learned a lesson not to feel that way. Maybe he would have done what umpires do. Remember when umpires and managers used to go face-to-face? A lot of times they were saying, I got to do this because if I don't do this, it makes me look soft and like a jackass. And the umpire would go, I understand, but I got to do this too because I got to go in the locker room right over here with all these guys, and I got to sit with them, and I don't want to look like a little bitch. That's what they're saying half the time. So Stephen A. Smith, next time he gets called out on his own stupidity, instead of being a little bitch and sitting down and you got to act like it. I mean, Stephen A. Smith's act is that anyway. I wonder why he acts that way in front of a camera. But, man, he's a little different in person. I say it all the time about these media dudes that never played. If you never played and you never coached and you get confronted, unless you're a bad boy, you're going back down every time. And Stephen A. Smith backed down, and no amount of PR, no amount of I woulda, I shoulda, I coulda is going to salvage that one, man. You did what you did, and everybody knows in person you back down meekly. The WNBA is doing whatever it can to get more eyeballs on our local superstar, national superstar, international superstar, Caitlin Clark. It's the most nationally televised game for any team in the league, 41 out of 44, even more than the reigning champ. By the way, close your eyes. I said reigning champ. Who? Who do you think it is? I didn't know this. I didn't. It's the New York Liberty. I had no idea about this. Honest to God. Now, you know what's going to happen. You know where I'm headed with this. 41 out of 44 games on national TV. The WNBA has never been more popular, with the potential to be even more popular. And, oh, by the way, the WNBA is a business. It's a business that's losing money. It's a business that is basically the welfare child of the NBA. It is. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. All right, they're trying not to be. But you know what? It pisses the little racist, sexist, crazy people that play in the WNBA off. Caitlin Clark just pisses them off. They ain't smart enough, like Michael Thompson said, father of Clay, former number 1 pick. Hey, we're jealous of it, but we knew Magic and Bird coming into the league was going to make us all fat. Well, the little gals don't like it. Obviously, people want to watch Caitlin play. And you have to put the people on TV that people want to watch play. But at the same time, there are stars all over the league, and you want good basketball as well. Obviously, Indiana will be a great team. But to not have the defending champs on TV more, and this is the buzzword, it's kind of crazy. No, it's not, honey. They've put the defending champs on. They put the defending champs on a lot. Indiana stacked their team, and I'm going to tell you something else. You're not going to believe this. What's her name? Napisha Collier. But people are going to fall in love with a woman named Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham is going to be on the Sports Illustrated model list if they do it legit. She's going to be on the cover of magazines. She's a beautiful, smart, funny woman that can play. And guess what? She's coming to play with Caitlin Clark. And they're going to be very, very good. So get ready, all you racist, sexist women of the WNBA. It's coming. And it's coming strong. You can bitch, whine, and moan like y'all always do. And you can be racist like y'all always are. And you can be sexist of the straight white girl like y'all have always been. But it don't matter. The WNBA understands one thing. This is our chance. And that's our meal ticket. Just like the NBA understood it with Magic and Bird. Going back 100 years. No Magic, no Bird. I'm not sure Michael's Michael. I'm not sure Isaiah's Isaiah. I mean, they're great players, would have been no matter what. But that thing, and let me give an education to Napani or whatever the hell her name is, Collier. The education of the NBA is this. The NBA, basketball, one of our nation's sports, was on tape delay. I'll say it again. Tape delay. You know what that is? That means the game's at 7, doesn't get shown on CBS till 10:30 after the news. True story. True story. Magic and Bird come in, next thing you know. But these women of the WNBA, being women, as my wife says, not me, her, they're so jealous, they're so ridiculous, they cannot stand to see anybody else in sports that's a woman succeed except them. And they hide it under the whole league. And we've got nope. Clark's presence, let me see here. It doesn't have to be where you're taking games away from Indiana, but I think you can raise the level of TV games for the other teams as well. The Fever should have that amount of games on TV on prime time, but I think other teams should have more than what they have. Well, how many games you want, Peaches? I mean, how many games you want, honey? I mean, what do you want, 1,000 games on TV? I mean, the only games that draw are Caitlin Clark or games around Caitlin Clark. So if you are on after, you will get a nice audience. Just stop. This is your chance. Stop bitching, whining, and moaning and enjoy the ride. Clark's presence in the sport has brought historic viewership to college and pro basketball. The final 3 games of her college career are the most watched women's college basketball games ever. She also had several of her regular season games draw more viewers than WNBA playoff games. I remember when Indiana University had a good team, and they were Caitlin Clark's rival. And the game went on Real Fox. Not Real Fox, but Big Fox. Fox Network. Indiana fans were bitching. All the ads were for Caitlin Clark. I started laughing. I go, you people idiots. What is wrong with you? Nobody gives a rat's ass about Indiana's players. Everybody gives a rat's ass about Caitlin Clark. Oh, they killed me. You're crushing Indiana women. No, I'm not. I'm telling you exactly the way the world works. You put Caitlin Clark with women's basketball, people watch. You put the rest, you better hope they're before or after Caitlin Clark's games. That's it. Clark's matchups in the WNBA were some of the most viewed WNBA games ever. WNBA teams even had to move and will have to move to larger arenas because of the tickets demand Clark drew. Fever sold, listen to this, 90 times more tickets during the 2024 season than 2023. You know what the biggest difference was? They had Caitlin Clark in 2024. They didn't have Caitlin Clark in 2023. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you women of the WNBA? Grow the hell up. Quit being little kids. Quit being children. Embrace what you got. Let her elevate the game. Let her elevate the league. And go along for the ride. Jesus. I mean, the dumbest people alive are the people that play in the WNBA. My God. Maybe the dumbest people are alive, actually, are the dumbest people in the NBA that fund the WNBA. They got to be sitting there going, are these folks idiots? Are these women the dumbest? What is wrong? Do they just not understand how the world works? Where, look, we have a team, we have a league, we have a star. We have a league that has cost us millions upon millions every year. Now we have a star and a chance, and these idiots are trying to tear it down. It's just stupid. The dumbest person in our government, we're doubling down. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Boy, is she stupid. And she's not supposed to be. You know, you guys think Jasmine Crockett's a hood rat. She's not. She went to some of the best schools in the country, allegedly. She's hiding it. She's attempted to clear the air about her disparaging remarks directed towards Texas Governor Greg Abbott. This is ridiculous. And his paralysis condition before lashing out further at Trump supporters. She may be dumb, but she is a content goldmine. And I got to speak for 5 hours a day, and I need content. She is. She helps us here at OutKick, so we like you. We love you. I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. Really? Really? I mean, you're just an idiot. I mean, why do we pay attention to these idiots? We do. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors, deliberately stroking tension and fear. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Among the most vulnerable. Right. Well, isn't it amazing? Isn't it? We haven't had to use planes, trains, and automobiles to transfer migrants. We haven't had to do any of that. Why is that, old Jasmine? Why is that? Well, because you got a president that said close the border. But she's not going to talk about that because not only is she stupid, she's a liar, ridiculous, and really just kind of good content, though. Got to like it. Literally, the next line I said was that he was a hot-ass mess, referring to his terrible policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition, and every media person is going to buy this. No, they are. African-American woman, what? Every guy on every network except Fox is going to be scared to death to criticize this dumbass. So I'm even more appalled. Now she's going to go, and I like this, never play defense. Never, ever play defense. Even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those with disabilities, are now outraged. Good for you, Jasmine, baby. Good for you. You are going on the offensive. My brother a multi-bazillionaire businessman, man, never played defense. And Jasmine learned. Keep that same energy for all people. Oh, I'm going to listen to you. Jasmine, if you tell me to keep energy, I'm doing it. Not just for your political adversaries. Finally, this is yet another distraction instead of obsessing over and hanging on my every word. Maybe the political foes should focus on doing the work of the people who elected us to improve their lives. Well, I think she did. I think he is. Jasmine, you're kind of hot, actually, but you're kind of stupid when you open your mouth. Isn't that what Trump is doing? I mean, all you're bitching, whining, and moaning, and you'll find something else to bitch, whine, and moan about, but let's eliminate the things you bitch, whine, and moan about most. Couldn't stop flow into the border, Jasmine. According to Biden, Trump did. Egg prices you all whined about. Oh, egg prices, they're way down. Nothing the president can do about gas prices, they're way down. Nothing the president can do about interest rates, they're way down. I mean, damn, lady, I think this is the stuff he ran on. Crime, at least in India and other cities, way down. Why? Because ICE and others are getting rid of illegal immigrants that are sitting up there and setting up their gangs. At least in our city, it's way down because I told you about the M13 gang. It's on its way out. ICE doing its job and allowed to do its job. So I guess what isn't Trump doing? What isn't Abbott doing? I mean, it's easy to sit there, bitch, whine, and moan and show how dumb you are. I hope they keep her out here. I mean, if you vote for her, you are stupid. Or you're racist and you're just voting simply for an African-American woman. Here's what she had to say about Governor Abbott. Now compare this when she got all riled up to her little apology or whatever the hell that thing was.
Because we in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now.
Look at her trying
and
to
the
be
only
cute.
thing hot about him is that he is a hot-ass mess, honey. So yes.
Yeah. That's what we got leading us, that idiot. What separates people is how they respond to problems they've caused. A mature person with a spine stands tall, puts her hand up, accepts responsibility, apologizes, and move on. That's not what she did. Instead, she decided to spin a narrative that we're all crazy for believing she was mocking Abbott for being paralyzed. I mean, she's just a typical idiot. That's the only thing I got, just a typical politician idiot. You know, you say something stupid, you get caught up in front of a crowd, and next thing you know, wait, I said what? Uh-oh, spin. Political idiots have been doing this forever. You can spin anything you want. In this day and age, you always got to go to race. In this day and age, you got to go to immigrants. Well, I don't know, man. It seems like Trump's doing exactly what she said. The likes of Sonny Hostin, Brian Seltzer, Rachel Maddow, Abby Phillip, I don't know who the hell that is, Abby Phillip, feign nearly daily outrage, what they consider offensive and inappropriate comments from politicians. Yet this group has said nothing so far regarding Crockett mocking Abbott's paraplegic state. You think they would? They're not a chance in hell. She's an African-American woman. These dudes are scared to death. Let me see. How many white people were in? Rachel Maddow, white. Sonny Hostin, I don't know. Setzer, white. Abby Phillip, I don't know. But are you crazy? Are you insane? These people are not going to say a word about African-American woman, who right now is kind of the face of the idiots of the Democratic Party. They should. They're gutless. They're racist, actually. I mean, people call me racist all the time, and I'm sitting there going, wait a second. If that was a white dude, I'd be talking about that. I don't know. People are weird. More college hoops. The inaugural college basketball crown tournament is set to tip off March 31st, and the tournament has the potential to dramatically alter the landscape of postseason tournaments as a result of its financial perks that would benefit the competing programs. NIL budget. Listen to this. It's a 16-team tournament. Features a combined 11 teams from the Big East, Big 12, Big 10. And it announced its first of its kind name, image, and likeness prize pool that will reward the championship team with a $300,000 NIL package. The runner-up will earn $100,000. $50,000 will go to the semifinalists through a new venture labeled the Vivid Seats Ambassador Program. I did not know this. I'm all in. Man, we're playing for cash now. in the NCAA, and it's only going to get bigger. There's going to be a new one of these in the next couple of years in November. Same kind of deal. This is a postseason event that satisfies fans surrounding the Final Four with more basketball on TV while delivering a prize that's worth something to players' wallets. The event can build up players' professional stock with scouts on hand and raise the profile of programs trying to take the next step. Yeah. You make the tournament, but you made $300,000. You know what? It'd be interesting. Like, let's say you made the NCAA tournament and you lost in the first round. Why wouldn't you be invited to that? Andrew's team, Illinois State, just won the College Basketball Invitational. Why wouldn't they be invited to the Crown? Man, you should have to win the NCAA to get into the Crown. That would be really – and you put $1 million up, the team that won the NCAA would go to the Crown. Players from the tournament's top 4 teams will engage as brand ambassadors on behalf of Vivid Seats. Athletes from qualifying teams will have opportunities to leverage their NIL deals through serious marketing campaigns, including social media activations and more. I honestly don't care. I think it's great. I think everybody should get fat. I cannot believe that Eric Shanks and Brad Zager don't have me doing these games. It's stunning to me that the people at Fox don't have me doing these games. It is. I mean, damn, I'm sitting here, the most interesting guy, the only guy in the history of coaching / broadcasting to be unafraid and tell you what it is. We've seen Josh Pastner go back. Crean's out here shopping himself around. How am I not doing these games? Seriously, according to ESPN, I was the best college basketball analyst they ever had. And you got the crown. And you got the most controversial host. Look, there hasn't been a coach ever, that has gone from coaching to broadcasting that has been as unafraid of me. I'm truly a pioneer. Man, Zager, Shanks, let's go. I'd be great for you. Hey, can we clip this and send this to those guys? You kidding me? If nobody's watching, I'll get them watching. All right, anyway, Bobby Marks of ESPN and former GM in the NBA was disgusted that the Heat fans gave Jimmy Butler a warm welcome back in the 305. He made his return as a member of the Warriors after demanding a trade in the middle of the season. Here he is. Here's Bobby Marks. Is this fair?
You made an observation. We played you the reception that Butler got in Miami last night. You had an observation about that.
I did. I want to be careful how I say this because I do have to fly home to Florida today. I don't want them not allowing me in the state. I was embarrassed last night. I was embarrassed watching that and looking at what the Heat fans did to give a man who quit on you. He quit on them at the end of the year, at the middle of the year. He quit on them because he didn't get paid by the Miami Heat. And I know he took you to 2 NBA finals and everything he did great for you. But to give that man a standing ovation, even if it was 50% of that, that bothered me dearly.
Really?
As far as that. It really did. And I would have done the video tribute. I still would have done of the Heat organization. But and Steve Kerr said it after. Basically, it was like almost like fair-weathered fans who were like, oh, it's okay. You know, the guy quit on you at the in the middle of the year. You know, he went to Golden State. He got his money. Right? He got his $111 million.
Right.
And now this is what we're left with. Mm-hmm. And before tonight, the reality was the Miami Heat were a nondescript, vanilla team with no identity. Mm-hmm. And you saw Jimmy Butler finally bring out the identity, whether it be with Bam Adebayo and Khalil Ware, the two bigs, the ability to shoot the ball. They couldn't make a basket in their last 10 games. Mm-hmm. And that just kind of irked me last night.
Yeah, I agree with him 100%. 100%. I want you to look at me. I agree with him 1,000%. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. Jimmy Butler did. And here's the OutKick response. Butler was sensational during his years in Miami, leading the Heat to 2 surprise runs in the finals, his incredible clutch play in the postseason. But with the Heat failing to recapture this success, he forced his way out, several run-ins with management, multiple suspension. Drama ended when he was traded. I totally agree with Bobby Marks. I totally agree. Could not agree more. The Heat should have said, hey, glad you're here, man. I wouldn't have done a video. I wouldn't have given him a standing ovation. I would have introduced him very quickly. And now for the Golden State Warriors at forward, Jimmy Butler. That's all. And let him bitch, whine, and moan. See, NBA players are so ridiculously entitled. I want to be a complete jackass because what did I do? Did I win championships like LeBron and them? No. You got them to the finals? Great. Duncan Robinson got hot. But I got to tell you, I wouldn't have done shit. When I say I wouldn't have done shit, I wouldn't have done a damn thing. Not one single thing. Not one. Ever. This is where our tax money is going. You ready? Democrats admit they had an insane plan to, listen to this. Listen to me right here. Spend $10 trillion, not million, not billion, trillion on climate change. On climate change. Now, I want you to think about this. All of the evidence to the climate change hasn't done shit. The glaciers that were there are still there. All the stuff they said was going to happen hasn't happened. Where would that $10 trillion have gone? Now, I'm going to ask you that because we have seen that the corruption with the Biden crime family and others is in these bills. We send it, they bring it back to them, they get it. Here's this idiotic announcement by these idiotic people.
That there were going to be two separate bills, and we had already had those conversations, but when it was clear, remember, the investment kept going down, 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 and we were like, no, because we need this investment. We need, like you said, the money. That was more money for lead pipes than what we had.
I think it was 3.9 trillion. Did it start at
Look
3.9
at this.
and go down, or did it?
We were at. I thought we were at 10, and then it went down to 6, and then down to 3, then it went down to 1.7, I believe.
That's two of the dumbest people we've ever had, Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman. Just look at that for a second. $10 trillion. Think about that for a moment. When you watch that and you hear the number trillion for climate change. Now, what they said didn't mean anything because I would guarantee you not one person, whether it's them or others, have any idea what else would be in that bill. These are the dumbest people in the liberal world. The liberals are the dumbest people that we have. Jamal Bowman was so stupid he pulled a fire alarm, didn't realize he was on camera. Cori Bush, but it's not them. It's the entire side. You're telling me Kamala Harris and Joe Biden weren't going to get paid off? Tim Walz wasn't going to get paid off with a $10 trillion bill? Wow, said Musk. Jeez, they have lost their minds. We dodged a bullet. In November, we barely escaped the dumbest disaster in history. I mean, make a case for it. You can't. It's incredibly stupid. Just listen to it. Hey, I don't care who's giving the message. It's all of the idiots. Here's Doge. Here's what Doge has done. Instead of spending $10 million, $10 trillion. Think about that. Listen to that. And it's not those two because the idiots in Congress on the Democratic side would have voted for that. If they controlled the House and the Senate and the White House, they would have voted for another $10 trillion to climate change. Look at what they're already doing, these dumbasses. $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala. Why are we paying for that? $20 million for a Sesame Street show in Iraq. $101 million for 29 DEI contracts at the DOD, the Department of Education. $101 million. Like these numbers it's like NBA and Major League Baseball. It's like you hear these numbers and they don't mean anything, but if you really think about it, it's insanity. $520 million for a consultant to do, I don't know what the hell ESG is in Africa. $25 million, we don't even look at that. What's $25 million? Biodiversity in Colombia. Get your own biodiversity. Honest to God. $100 million for condoms for Hamas. Well, that's probably good. We don't need any more Hamas dumbasses. $40 million to improve inclusion of sedentary migrants. $42 million for social and behavioral changes in Uganda. $100 million for Mozambique male circumcision. Cut your own pee-pee. $47 million for improving outcomes in Asia, learning outcomes in Asia. Those dudes are so far ahead of us. They're so damn far ahead of us in Asia. What the hell are we paying? What are we paying for Asia? Look, I'm sure some of these are going to hurt some people, but I bet you they're not. Again, I go back to this. How did so many congressmen and women get so filthy rich off $175,000 to $275,000 a year, and I mean filthy rich. There is nobody in this world that can't tell me that this money doesn't come back to our politicians some way, somehow. I'm sure some of these things do nice work. I'm sure some of them do good things in different countries. I'm sure they'll be missed. But come on. Quit bullshitting the American people. That's what Doge is exposing. Stop bullshitting us. All right, we caught you. Why are you so mad? And why are you so into climate change if you're busting up Teslas? Isn't Tesla like the company for climate change? Isn't Tesla the company for lessening the carbon footprint? Isn't that what it is? I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's amazing. No, it seriously is. DEI contracts at the Department of Education. Our money. I wish I could say where my tax dollars go. My tax dollars would go to education, even though I don't have kids. I wish they would do this. I wish all the money they're collecting, I wish they would hire at each public school, because I know what public school administrators are doing. They're stealing too. Get somebody in law enforcement to overlook every public school system, Marion County is where I live, and give them enough money to straighten out the schools, fund the extracurricular programs, and make our schools great. And it's obvious the Department of Education is not doing that, so get rid of it. Get it back to the states. I hope Trump does. You're going to really enjoy Pat Kelsey. Pat Kelsey is the head coach at Louisville, and he did an unbelievable job. I mean, took Louisville from basically nothing and made it into a power. I thought they got screwed with their seeding, but who knows? Anyway, Pat Kelsey is an energetic, really good dude. Can't wait to talk to him. Cannot wait to talk to him.